Let's get ready for the Idaho real estate exam with 100 questions covering the state-specific laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And don't miss what's happening in the bottom corner. It could be key to your exam prep. We'll tell you how in a minute. Now let's get started.
Let's start with a review of Idaho real estate law and practice. Let's continue with a review of Fair Housing and Civil Code. Fair housing laws in Idaho. What is a key function of the Idaho Fair Housing Council in relation to the fair housing laws in Idaho? Is it A, provide low-income housing options, B, educate the public on fair housing rights and responsibilities, C, enforce zoning laws and regulations, or D, manages trust accounts for real estate agents? The answer is B, educate the public on fair housing rights and responsibilities. The Idaho Fair Housing Council focuses on educating the public about their rights under the Fair Housing Act, ensuring awareness and promoting compliance with the law. Their role does not include providing housing or managing financial accounts. What agency enforces the fair housing laws in Idaho? Is it A, Idaho Department of Real Estate, B, Idaho Human Rights Commission, C, United States Department of Justice, or D, Idaho Board of Realtors? The answer is B, Idaho Human Rights Commission. The Idaho Human Rights Commission enforces the Fair Housing Act and state-specific fair housing laws. They investigate and resolve complaints regarding housing discrimination, ensuring compliance with both federal and state regulations.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
Which of the following practices would violate Idaho fair housing laws? Is it A, charging different rents based on the number of occupants, B, refusing to rent to someone due to a disability, C, offering vouchers to certain income groups, or D, imposing a pet deposit on tenants with service animals? The answer is B, refusing to rent to someone due to a disability. Refusing to rent based on disability is a breach of fair housing regulations, as Idaho law protects individuals against such discriminatory practices. In Idaho, which group is not protected under the state's fair housing laws? Is it A, age, B, race, C, sexual orientation, or D, religion? The answer is A, age. Age is not a protected class under Idaho's fair housing laws, which focus on preventing discrimination based on race, religion, disability, and similar categories. However, practices that indirectly affect age, such as discrimination against families with children, may still be challenged under federal protections for familial status. Which of the following practices is prohibited by the Idaho Fair Housing Law? Is it A, restricting buyers by marital status, B, offering discounts to senior citizens in a housing community, C, setting income-based criteria for rental applications, or D, refusing to allow a service animal for a person with a disability? The answer is D, refusing to allow a service animal for a person with a disability. The Idaho Fair Housing Law mirrors federal standards prohibiting discrimination based on disability, which includes denying reasonable accommodations like service animals. Idaho Civil Code. Under Idaho law, which entity is responsible for administering and enforcing real estate licensing laws? Is it A, Idaho Real Estate Commission, B, Idaho Department of Licensing, C, Idaho State Board of Realtors, or D, Idaho Department of Commerce? The answer is A, Idaho Real Estate Commission. The Idaho Real Estate Commission is the authority that oversees licensing laws and regulations ensuring compliance with Idaho real estate statutes. How does Idaho law define the fiduciary duty of loyalty for real estate agents? Is it A, representing the best interests of the broker over the client? B, acting in the best interests of the client without regard to personal gain? C, ensuring that each transaction results in maximum commission revenue? Or D, only following the written instructions of clients? The answer is B, acting in the best interests of the client without regard to personal gain. Idaho's fiduciary duty of loyalty mandates that real estate agents act solely in the client's best interest, prioritizing their needs above personal or third-party gains. What must Idaho real estate agents do upon receiving earnest money deposits? Is it A, deposit them into a personal account for safekeeping? B, promptly deposit them into a trust account? C, report them to the Idaho Real Estate Commission immediately? Or D, distribute them between the buyer and the seller immediately? The answer is B, promptly deposit them into a trust account. Idaho law requires that earnest money deposits are promptly deposited in a designated trust account to ensure proper handling and accountability of client funds. In Idaho, which of the following responsibilities is not typically assigned to members of the Idaho Real Estate Commission? Is it A, enforcing federal real estate laws? B, overseeing the licensing of real estate professionals? C, developing education standards for real estate agents? Or D, investigating consumer complaints against real estate licensees? The answer is A, enforcing federal real estate laws. The Idaho Real Estate Commission does not enforce federal laws. Its role is primarily focused on state real estate licensing, education standards, and investigating complaints within Idaho. Under Idaho law, what is a requirement when opening a real estate trust account? Is it A, it must be opened at a national bank? B, the account must be interest-bearing? C, the account must be labeled as a trust account? Or D, only licensed brokers can manage these accounts? The answer is C, the account must be labeled as a trust account. Idaho law mandates that real estate trust accounts be accurately labeled as such to prevent mismanagement or improper commingling of client and personal funds. What is the primary role of the Idaho Real Estate Commission? Is it A, to conduct real estate transactions? B, to provide legal representation to real estate agents? C, to license and regulate real estate professionals and ensure compliance with state laws? Or D, to set national standards for real estate practices? The answer is C, to license and regulate real estate professionals and ensure compliance with state laws. The Idaho Real Estate Commission is responsible for licensing real estate professionals in Idaho and ensuring that they comply with the state's real estate laws to protect the public interest. Which statement about trust accounts in Idaho real estate practice is correct? Is it A, interest earned on trust accounts belongs to the Real Estate Commission? B, trust accounts must be held in a federally insured institution in Idaho? C, trust accounts can be used for personal transactions if documented? Or D, only brokers are required to maintain trust accounts? The answer is B, trust accounts must be held in a federally insured institution in Idaho. In Idaho, real estate trust accounts must be held in federally insured institutions, ensuring security for client funds. Mismanagement of these accounts can lead to penalties for the responsible broker.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Contracts and disclosures. Real estate contracts in Idaho. What is the primary purpose of the Idaho Real Estate Commission in relation to real estate contracts? Is it A, To draft specific contracts for every transaction. B. To approve and standardize contract forms for use by licensees. C. To offer legal advice to buyers and sellers. Or D. To represent agents in contract disputes. The answer is B. To approve and standardize contract forms for use by licensees. The Idaho Real Estate Commission standardizes contract forms to ensure compliance with state laws and uniform practices among licensees. In Idaho, what is a required element for the enforceability of a real estate contract? Is it A. Oral agreement between parties, B. A witness signature, C. Written agreement with signatures of all parties, or D. Endorsement by a notary public? The answer is C. Written agreement with signatures of all parties. Idaho law requires real estate contracts to be in writing and signed by the involved parties to meet the statute of frauds, making them legally enforceable. When must earnest money be deposited in Idaho according to state law? Is it A. Within 1 business day after receiving it from the buyer, B. Within 2 business days following acceptance of the purchase agreement, C. Before the contract is signed by both parties, or D. At the closing of the transaction? The answer is B. Within 2 business days following acceptance of the purchase agreement. In Idaho, real estate agents must deposit earnest money into a trust account within 2 business days after the purchase agreement is accepted. Which of the following is true about the transfer of real estate contracts in Idaho? Is it A. Contracts can be transferred without the original party's consent, B. Transfers are valid only if notarized, C. All contract transfers must be recorded with the state's land board, or D. Real estate contracts can be assigned unless they explicitly prohibit assignment? The answer is D. Real estate contracts can be assigned unless they explicitly prohibit assignment. In Idaho, real estate contracts can generally be assigned unless the contract specifically prohibits assignment, in which case consent is needed. What is the statutory requirement for a real estate broker's trust account in Idaho? Is it A. It must contain only the broker's personal funds, B. It must be interest-bearing for benefit of the broker, C. It must be a separate account used exclusively for clients' funds, or D. It can be temporarily used for business expenses? The answer is C. It must be a separate account used exclusively for clients' funds. Idaho law mandates that brokers maintain separate trust accounts for client funds to ensure integrity and prevent misuse or commingling with personal funds. What is the role of the Idaho Real Estate Commission with regard to real estate contracts? Is it A. Approve and enforce real estate contracts, B. Educate licensees on best practices for real estate contracts, C. Draft standardized real estate contracts for use within Idaho, or D. Negotiate real estate disputes between agents and clients? The answer is B. Educate licensees on best practices for real estate contracts. The Idaho Real Estate Commission focuses on education, ensuring licensees are informed about regulations, best practices, and legal requirements surrounding real estate contracts in Idaho. What happens if a real estate agent in Idaho fails to disclose an agency relationship to a client in a transaction? Is it A. The agent will be automatically fined, B. The contract is void from inception, C. The agent may face disciplinary action, or D. The transaction must be canceled? The answer is C. The agent may face disciplinary action. In Idaho, failure to disclose an agency relationship can lead to disciplinary action from the Real Estate Commission as it violates state-specific rules of agency. Disclosures required by Idaho law. What is the minimum disclosure required by Idaho law on a property seller's disclosure statement? Is it A. Structural defects, B. Appliance conditions, C. Recent renovations, or D. Neighbor complaints? The answer is A. Structural defects. Idaho law mandates disclosure of material defects like structural issues. Ensuring potential buyers are aware of these issues helps maintain transparency in real estate transactions. Under Idaho law, when must a seller disclose a known mold issue to the buyer? Is it A. At closing, B. After an offer is made, C. Before any showings, or D. Prior to accepting the offer? The answer is C. Before any showings. Idaho law requires sellers to disclose known issues such as mold before potential buyers view the property. This early disclosure aids buyers in making informed decisions. If a real estate agent in Idaho is aware of a previous flood in a property, what is their obligation? Is it A. They must disclose it only if asked, B. Ignore it if the property looks fine, C. They must disclose it to potential buyers, or D. File a report with the Idaho Real Estate Commission? The answer is C. They must disclose it to potential buyers. Real estate agents in Idaho must disclose known material facts, such as previous flooding, to potential buyers to prevent misrepresentation and protect buyer interests. Which of the following is considered a latent defect under Idaho law that a seller must disclose? Is it A. Visible water damage, B. Cracked foundation not easily observable, C. Old roof shingles easily seen, or D. Overgrown lawn? The answer is B. Cracked foundation not easily observable. A latent defect, like a cracked foundation hidden from view, must be disclosed as it affects structural integrity. This requirement helps protect buyers from unforeseen expenses. What is the penalty for a seller who fails to disclose a known material defect in Idaho? Is it A. No penalty, B. Buyer can sue for misrepresentation, C. Fine by the Idaho Real Estate Commission, or D. Mandatory repair of defect? The answer is B. Buyer can sue for misrepresentation. Idaho sellers failing to disclose known defects face potential lawsuits for damages due to misrepresentation, protecting buyers against undisclosed property issues. What is required by Idaho law to be disclosed by the seller in a real estate transaction? Is it A. Property boundaries, B. Local agency zoning plans, C. Age of adjacent properties, or D. Presence of hazardous materials? The answer is D. Presence of hazardous materials. Idaho statute requires sellers to disclose known hazardous materials, such as lead or asbestos, present on the property to inform potential buyers of environmental risks. Which disclosure is mandatory under the Idaho Seller Disclosure Act? Is it A. Survey of the property, B. Structural integrity issues, C. History of water bills, or D. Number of past owners? The answer is B. Structural integrity issues. The Idaho Seller Disclosure Act mandates that sellers disclose known material defects, including structural integrity issues, to ensure buyers are aware of potential property defects.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Title, escrow, and taxes. Transfer of title in Idaho. What is the primary purpose of recording a deed in Idaho? Is it A. To validate the signatures on the deed, B. To provide constructive notice of ownership to the public, C. To determine property taxes, or D. To finalize the sale between buyer and seller? The answer is B. To provide constructive notice of ownership to the public. In Idaho, recording a deed provides constructive notice to the public, helping establish the priority of claims on property. The process safeguards an owner's rights against future claims. In Idaho, who is responsible for paying transfer taxes upon the sale of a property? Is it A, the buyer unless otherwise negotiated, B, the seller unless otherwise negotiated, C, split equally between buyer and seller, or D, determined by the title company? The answer is B, the seller unless otherwise negotiated. In Idaho, the seller commonly pays transfer taxes, which are fees imposed by the state during the transfer of a property's title, although this can be renegotiated in the sales agreement. Which agency regulates real estate practices, including the transfer of title, in Idaho? Is it A, Idaho Department of Lands, B, Idaho Housing and Finance Association, C, Idaho Real Estate Commission, or D, Idaho State Tax Commission? The answer is C, Idaho Real Estate Commission. The Idaho Real Estate Commission oversees real estate licensing and ensures compliance with state real estate laws, including those governing title transfers. What document is typically used to transfer title from a deceased property owner in Idaho? Is it A, General Warranty Deed, B, Quitclaim Deed, C, Living Will, or D, Probate Deed? The answer is D, Probate Deed. In Idaho, a probate deed is used to transfer title from a deceased individual, ensuring legal title passage under a court's directive according to the deceased's will or state law. Which party typically holds the earnest money in an Idaho real estate transaction? Is it A, the seller, B, the buyer's agent, C, the title company or escrow agent, or D, the mortgage lender? The answer is C, the title company or escrow agent. In Idaho, the earnest money is typically held by a title company or escrow agent who ensures its secure handling until all conditions of the sale are fulfilled or canceled. In Idaho, what is the primary document used to convey title in a real estate transaction? Is it A, Deed of Trust, B, Warranty Deed, C, Quitclaim Deed, or D, Promissory Note? The answer is B, Warranty Deed. The warranty deed is frequently used in Idaho to assure the buyer that the property is free from any encumbrances and that the seller has the legal right to sell it. Who is responsible for ensuring that the title is clear in a real estate transaction in Idaho? Is it A, the buyer, B, the seller, C, the real estate agent, or D, the escrow officer? The answer is B, the seller. In Idaho, the seller must clear all title defects before the closing to convey a clear and marketable title to the buyer. Escrow in Idaho. In Idaho, who is typically responsible for conducting escrow closing services during real estate transactions? Is it A, real estate agents, B, lenders, C, title companies, or D, property appraisers? The answer is C, title companies. In Idaho, title companies are commonly used to manage escrow and closing services, ensuring all terms of the real estate transaction are fulfilled. Which Idaho-specific regulation governs the handling of earnest money deposits in real estate transactions? Is it A, Idaho Statute 54-2034, B, Idaho Real Estate Commission Rule 11.012, C, Idaho Real Estate Code Section 54-2051, or D, Idaho Property Act Section 34-112? The answer is C, Idaho Real Estate Code Section 54-2051. The Idaho Real Estate Code Section 54-2051 provides guidelines on how earnest money deposits are to be held in trust accounts during a transaction. What is the primary purpose of escrow accounts in Idaho real estate transactions? Is it A, to pay off existing mortgages, B, to hold funds until all conditions of the transaction are met, C, to provide loans for closing costs, or D, to validate property appraisals? The answer is B, to hold funds until all conditions of the transaction are met, Escrow accounts in Idaho are used to securely hold funds until all conditions and terms of a real estate agreement have been satisfied. How does the Idaho Real Estate Commission regulate escrow accounts? Is it A, by requiring account audits every quarter? B, by mandating that real estate companies maintain trust accounts? C, by having escrow agents on their board? Or D, by setting property tax rates? The answer is B, by mandating that real estate companies maintain trust accounts. The Idaho Real Estate Commission stipulates that real estate companies must maintain trust accounts to ensure proper handling and management of client funds during transactions. What document must be provided to the buyer and seller at the closing of escrow in Idaho? Is it A, loan estimate, B, home inspection report, C, purchase agreement, or D, closing disclosure? The answer is D, closing disclosure. In Idaho, the closing disclosure is a key document at closing that details the final loan terms and the financial aspects of the real estate transaction. What is one of the primary responsibilities of escrow agents under Idaho real estate law? Is it A, to manage and maintain personal client transactions, B, to ensure lawful transfer of property titles, C, to set property tax rates for transactions, or D, to act solely on behalf of the seller? The answer is B, to ensure lawful transfer of property titles. Escrow agents play a crucial role in ensuring the lawful transfer of property titles and compliance with Idaho state laws during real estate transactions.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Idaho real estate taxes. In Idaho, what is the primary purpose of real estate property taxes? Is it A, to fund national defense programs, B, to finance state infrastructure projects only, C, to support local government services, including schools and public safety, or D, to repay national debt obligations? The answer is C, to support local government services, including schools and public safety. In Idaho, real estate property taxes are essential for funding local government services such as public schools, police, fire departments, and other community services. When are real estate property taxes typically due in Idaho? Is it A, March 1st and September 1st, B, June 1st and December 1st, C, April 15th and October 15th, or D, December 20th and June 20th of the following year? The answer is D, December 20th and June 20th of the following year. In Idaho, property tax payments are divided into two installments. The first half is due December 20th, and the second half is due June 20th of the following year. Which Idaho statute governs the procedures for taxing real estate properties? Is it A, Idaho Real Estate Procedures Act, B, Idaho Property Tax Act, C, Idaho Code Title 63, Revenue and Taxation, or D, Idaho Land and Taxation Policy? The answer is C, Idaho Code Title 63, Revenue and Taxation. Idaho Code Title 63 details the state's policies and procedures regarding the taxation of real and personal property, including assessment, collection, and distribution of taxes. In Idaho, who is primarily responsible for assessing real estate property values for tax purposes? Is it A, the Idaho State Treasurer, B, County Assessors, C, the Idaho Real Estate Commission, or D, City Council members? The answer is B, County Assessors. In Idaho, county assessors are elected officials responsible for determining the assessed value of properties within their jurisdiction, impacting how much property tax is owed. How often are real estate properties reassessed for tax purposes in Idaho? Is it A, every year, B, every 5 years, C, every 2 years, or D, upon sale of the property only? The answer is A, every year. In Idaho, properties are reassessed annually to reflect their market value accurately, ensuring that property taxes are fairly based on current valuations. What is a primary use of property tax revenue in Idaho? Is it A, funding national parks, B, maintaining state highways, C, supporting local schools, or D, paying Idaho sales tax rebates? The answer is C, supporting local schools. In Idaho, property taxes are a critical source of revenue for local governments and are largely used to support public schools and local services. Licensing and regulation. Idaho licensing and regulation. What is the primary role of the Idaho Real Estate Commission? Is it A, to set national real estate standards, B, to regulate and license real estate schools only, C, to oversee the licensing and regulation of real estate professionals in Idaho, or D, to collect property taxes in Idaho? The answer is C, to oversee the licensing and regulation of real estate professionals in Idaho. The Idaho Real Estate Commission is responsible for regulating and licensing real estate agents and firms within the state to ensure adherence to state laws and promote fair practices. Which document is required for an individual to obtain a real estate salesperson license in Idaho? Is it A, proof of citizenship, B, a contract with a brokerage firm, C, a national real estate certificate, or D, a Master of Business Administration degree? The answer is B, a contract with a brokerage firm. To apply for a salesperson license, applicants need the sponsorship of a licensed broker, which serves as a key requirement for licensure in Idaho. What is a key responsibility of the designated broker in Idaho? Is it A, setting national real estate policies, B, managing and supervising all brokerage services provided by the firm, C, appraising property for tax purposes, or D, providing legal advice on real estate matters? The answer is B, managing and supervising all brokerage services provided by the firm. In Idaho, the designated broker is accountable for the conduct of all real estate activities and ensuring compliance with state regulations within the brokerage. In Idaho, how often must real estate licenses be renewed? Is it A, every year, B, every 5 years, C, every 3 years, or D, every 2 years? The answer is D, every 2 years. The Idaho Real Estate Commission mandates that real estate licenses are renewed every 2 years to ensure continued compliance and competence. What is required for the management of trust accounts under Idaho real estate law? Is it A, they must be managed by an out-of-state bank, B, they must be exclusively for commingling client and personal funds, C, they must be maintained separately from operating funds, or D, they require monthly reporting to the Real Estate Commission? The answer is C, they must be maintained separately from operating funds. Idaho law mandates that trust accounts used by brokers should be separate to avoid unauthorized mixing of client funds with operating or personal funds. What are the core responsibilities of the Idaho Real Estate Commission? Is it A, promoting real estate properties to potential buyers, B, regulating real estate activities and licensing in Idaho, C, advertising property-related events throughout Idaho, or D, appraising properties for accurate market value? The answer is B, regulating real estate activities and licensing in Idaho. The Idaho Real Estate Commission is tasked with regulating real estate licensing and ensuring compliance with Idaho's real estate laws. The Idaho Real Estate Commission and Division of Occupational and Professional Licenses. What is the primary responsibility of the Idaho Real Estate Commission? Is it A, To encourage economic growth in Idaho. B. To regulate real estate licensees in Idaho. C. To promote tourism in Idaho. Or D. To approve all real estate transactions in Idaho. The answer is B. To regulate real estate licensees in Idaho. The Idaho Real Estate Commission regulates real estate licensees, ensuring compliance with state laws and promoting professionalism in the industry. Which of the following is true about the composition of the Idaho Real Estate Commission? Is it A. The commission consists of 7 members. B. All members must be real estate brokers. C. Members include both real estate professionals and public members. Or D. The governor appoints new members directly. The answer is C. Members include both real estate professionals and public members. The Idaho Real Estate Commission is comprised of both real estate professionals and public members to ensure diverse viewpoints in regulatory matters. Under Idaho law, who is responsible for managing trust accounts in a real estate transaction? Is it A. The state legislature, B. The real estate broker involved in the transaction, C. The Idaho Real Estate Commission, or D. The Division of Occupational and Professional Licenses? The answer is B. The real estate broker involved in the transaction. In Idaho, real estate brokers manage trust accounts to ensure licensed activities comply with state regulations concerning client funds. What is the primary role of the Division of Occupational and Professional Licenses in Idaho? Is it A. To oversee the accreditation of Idaho universities, B. To issue licenses to Idaho real estate agents, C. To manage state infrastructure projects, or D. To legislate real estate laws? The answer is B. To issue licenses to Idaho real estate agents. The Division of Occupational and Professional Licenses issues licenses and regulates various professions, including real estate, to maintain public interest. In Idaho, how often must real estate professionals renew their licenses? Is it A. Every 6 months, B. Annually, C. Biennially, every 2 years, or D. Every 5 years? The answer is C. Biennially, every 2 years. Idaho real estate licenses require renewal every 2 years, with continuing education necessary to ensure updated professional knowledge and compliance. What is the primary role of the Idaho Real Estate Commission? Is it A. To administer disciplinary actions against offenders, B. To manage real estate licenses nationwide, C. To legislate real estate laws in Idaho, or D. To conduct real estate transactions in Idaho? The answer is A. To administer disciplinary actions against offenders. The Idaho Real Estate Commission enforces real estate laws, with its authority largely centered on licensing, regulation, and disciplining. It ensures brokers and agents follow state laws.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Idaho Real Estate Finance. Loan Basics and Types. Loan Fundamentals. In Idaho, what is a key requirement for a mortgage loan originator license? Is it A. Passing the National Safe Mortgage Loan Originator Test, B. Completing 20 hours of pre-licensing education, C. Submitting fingerprints for a background check, or D. Gaining 5 years of experience in real estate? The answer is C. Submitting fingerprints for a background check. Idaho mandates a complete background check, including fingerprinting, for mortgage loan originators to meet both state and federal compliance. What is the primary purpose of the Idaho Mortgage Lenders and Brokers Act? Is it A. To regulate interest rates on loans, B. To ensure proper licensing and registration of mortgage entities, C. To provide loan guarantees to Idaho residents, or D. to enforce federal lending laws within the state? The answer is B, to ensure proper licensing and registration of mortgage entities. The act ensures that mortgage lenders and brokers in Idaho operate under a licensing framework, providing consumer protection and industry standards. In Idaho, which type of loan typically requires private mortgage insurance? Is it A, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA loans, B, conventional loans with a down payment below 20%, C, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, or D, U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA loan? The answer is B, conventional loans with a down payment below 20%. In Idaho, like elsewhere, conventional loans with less than a 20% down payment require PMI to mitigate lender risk. What is a distinguishing feature of an adjustable rate mortgage in Idaho? Is it A, interest rate adjusts annually based on market conditions, B, interest rate remains fixed for the life of the loan, C, guaranteed conversion to a fixed rate, or D, no initial interest payment for the first year? The answer is A, interest rate adjusts annually based on market conditions. An ARM in Idaho adjusts the interest rate annually after an initial fixed period, exposing borrowers to potential rate increases or decreases. What is a common characteristic of a balloon mortgage in Idaho? Is it A, regular payments reduce the principal balance significantly, B, it extends beyond 30 years, C, the interest rate decreases over time, or D, there is a large final payment due at the end of the term? The answer is D, there is a large final payment due at the end of the term. A balloon mortgage in Idaho is characterized by smaller monthly payments and a significant final payment, known as the balloon payment. In Idaho, what is the primary function of a trust account in real estate transactions? Is it A, to hold funds on behalf of the State Real Estate Commission, B, to retain all broker commissions until dispersed, C, to safely keep customer and client funds until all parties agree on distribution, or D, to store brokers' personal funds for personal transactions? The answer is C, to safely keep customer and client funds until all parties agree on distribution. In Idaho, trust accounts are designated for holding client monies in a secure manner, ensuring funds are available until all contractual obligations are met and funds can be properly distributed. Loan types. What is a key feature of a VA loan that makes it attractive to Idaho veterans? Is it A, no down payment is required, B, interest rates are fixed at a state-mandated level, C, closing costs are fully covered by the state, or D, mortgage insurance is mandatory regardless of the down payment? The answer is A, no down payment is required. VA loans, backed by the Department of Veterans Affairs, require no down payment, making them attractive to veterans. In Idaho, as elsewhere, this feature facilitates easier access to home ownership for those who have served. Which type of loan typically requires private mortgage insurance if the down payment is less than 20%? Is it A, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, B, conventional loan, C, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA loan, or D, U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA loan? The answer is B, conventional loan. Conventional loans often require private mortgage insurance when the down payment is under 20%. This insurance protects lenders against default and is a common requirement in Idaho as elsewhere. How is the funding fee for a VA loan typically handled in Idaho? Is it A, paid up front at closing or rolled into the loan amount, B, directly deducted from monthly mortgage payments, C, waived for all Idaho veterans, or D, shared equally between the lender and the borrower? The answer is A, paid up front at closing or rolled into the loan amount. The VA funding fee in Idaho can either be paid at closing or rolled into the mortgage. This choice offers financial flexibility to veterans, making the loan terms adaptable to their situation. Which type of loan is likely to require mortgage insurance premiums regardless of the down payment size? Is it A, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA loan, B, conventional loan, C, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, or D, jumbo loan? The answer is C, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan. Federal Housing Administration loans in Idaho require mortgage insurance premiums regardless of the down payment. This insurance provides lenders with security, promoting broader access to home financing. What is the general qualification criteria for obtaining an FHA-backed loan in Idaho? Is it A, a minimum credit score and a stable income, B, having served in the military, C, being a first-time homebuyer, or D, providing a 20% down payment? The answer is A, a minimum credit score and a stable income. Qualification for FHA loans in Idaho typically involves having a minimum credit score and demonstrating a stable income source. These aspects help ensure the borrower can reliably make mortgage payments, offering access despite credit challenges. What type of loan is often preferred by first-time homebuyers in Idaho due to its lower down payment requirements? Is it A, conventional loan, B, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, C, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA loan, or D, jumbo loan? The answer is B, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan. FHA loans, insured by the Federal Housing Administration, are widely popular among first-time homebuyers due to lower down payment requirements and flexible qualifying criteria. Loan process and qualifications. Loan qualifications. Which of the following is a key factor in determining loan qualification in Idaho real estate finance? Is it A, debt-to-income ratio, B, federal credit score guidelines, C, past employment history only, or D, the applicant's age? The answer is A, debt-to-income ratio. In Idaho, lenders often evaluate an applicant's debt-to-income ratio to assess the ability to handle potential mortgage payments effectively. What is a unique requirement under Idaho statutes for real estate loan qualification? Is it A, proof of Idaho residency for 6 months, B, comprehensive property appraisal by a state-certified appraiser, C, mandatory minimum savings balance, or D, credit report from a national agency? The answer is B, comprehensive property appraisal by a state-certified appraiser. Idaho emphasizes accurate property valuations, requiring appraisals conducted by appraisers who are certified within the state, ensuring compliance with local valuation standards. Which agency in Idaho oversees the regulation of mortgage lenders? Is it A, Idaho Real Estate Commission, B, Idaho Department of Finance, C, Federal Reserve Bank in Idaho, or D, Idaho Consumer Finance Division? The answer is B, Idaho Department of Finance. The Idaho Department of Finance is tasked with regulating financial institutions, including mortgage lenders, ensuring compliance with state financial laws. How does the state of Idaho ensure that loan originators meet qualification standards? Is it A, by requiring a general business degree, B, requiring a minimum credit score of 700, C, by mandating a state-administered exam, or D, through the Idaho Loan Originator Licensing Act? The answer is D, through the Idaho Loan Originator Licensing Act. Idaho's Loan Originator Licensing Act ensures that all licensed originators meet rigorous educational and competency standards to effectively serve consumers. What role does the Idaho Real Estate Commission play in the loan process? Is it A, it approves loan applications, B, it regulates real estate brokers involved in the loan process, C. It sets the interest rates for loans. Or D. It provides mortgage insurance to lenders. The answer is B. It regulates real estate brokers involved in the loan process. The Idaho Real Estate Commission's function includes regulating real estate professionals, ensuring compliance with state standards during real estate transactions, which can involve loans. What is the minimum credit score generally required by most lenders to qualify for a conventional home loan in Idaho? Is it A, 620, B, C, 580, or D, 800? The answer is A, 620. In Idaho, as with most states, a conventional loan typically requires a minimum FICO credit score of 620. Lenders may have flexibility based on other factors like income and debt levels. The loan application process. What is the primary role of the Idaho Real Estate Commission during the loan application process? Is it A, to set interest rates for lenders, B, to regulate real estate education requirements, C, to ensure compliance with state real estate laws, or D, to approve mortgage loan applications? The answer is C, to ensure compliance with state real estate laws. The Idaho Real Estate Commission ensures that real estate professionals comply with state-specific laws, impacting how they facilitate the loan application process for clients. During the loan application process in Idaho, which document is crucial for confirming the property's legal description and essential features? Is it A, the real estate license agreement, B, the property appraisal report, C, the title commitment, or D, the buyer's credit report? The answer is C, the title commitment. The title commitment is essential in the Idaho loan process, providing a thorough legal description of the property and highlighting any issues with ownership or encumbrances. Which financial statement is most critical for evaluating an applicant's ability to secure a real estate loan in Idaho? Is it A, a current expense report, B, the applicant's credit report, C, the applicant's income tax return, or D, a detailed business plan? The answer is B, the applicant's credit report. In Idaho, the credit report provides a detailed view of an applicant's financial history, aiding lenders in assessing their risk and reliability in loan repayment. What Idaho-specific requirement must a lender meet when providing a loan application to a prospective borrower? Is it A, provide estimated property taxes before approval, B, disclose state-specific anti-predatory lending laws, C, guarantee loan approval within 30 days, or D, offer a fixed interest rate for all applications? The answer is B, disclose state-specific anti-predatory lending laws. Idaho mandates that lenders inform borrowers of state-specific regulations designed to protect against predatory lending practices, crucial during the application process to ensure borrower understanding and protection. Which document is verified by lenders to confirm an applicant's employment during the Idaho loan process? Is it A, the employment verification letter, B, the bank statement, C, the investment portfolio statement, or D, the rental lease agreement? The answer is A, the employment verification letter. The employment verification letter confirms the Idaho loan applicant's job status and income, integral for lenders assessing their ability to repay the mortgage. What is a key responsibility of the Idaho Real Estate Commission in the loan application process? Is it A, approving loan amounts for homebuyers, B, providing legal advice to borrowers, C, setting interest rates for lenders, or D, regulating real estate brokerage businesses? The answer is D, regulating real estate brokerage businesses. The Idaho Real Estate Commission regulates and licenses real estate professionals and enforces state laws. This oversight can influence the loan application process by ensuring fair practices among real estate brokers.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Underwriting. In Idaho, which entity primarily governs the rules and regulations related to real estate underwriting? Is it A, Idaho State Legislature, B, Federal Housing Administration, C, Idaho Department of Insurance, or D, Idaho Real Estate Commission? The answer is D, Idaho Real Estate Commission. The Idaho Real Estate Commission oversees the implementation and enforcement of rules related to real estate underwriting within the state. What is a key factor that underwriters in Idaho must evaluate during the loan approval process? Is it A, borrower's hair color, B, borrower's repayment capacity, C, borrower's email address, or D, number of dependents? The answer is B, borrower's repayment capacity. Evaluating a borrower's repayment capacity involves analyzing their income, credit history, and debt obligations to ensure they can make mortgage payments. What is the consequence of omitting critical financial information during underwriting in Idaho? Is it A, immediate loan approval, B, potential loan denial, C, reduced loan interest rate, or D, guaranteed loan modification? The answer is B, potential loan denial. Underwriters must access complete financial information to assess the risk. Missing information often leads to loan denial. Which Idaho-specific regulation must lenders adhere to when preventing discriminatory practices during underwriting? Is it A, Idaho Fair Housing Act, B, Idaho Environmental Quality Act, C, Idaho Trust Account Law, or D, Federal Reserve Act? The answer is A, Idaho Fair Housing Act. The Idaho Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination, ensuring equitable treatment during the underwriting and lending processes in the state. What role does the underwriter play in Idaho's loan approval process? Is it A, setting property value limits, B, selecting the loan interest rate, C, verifying borrower's financial information, or D, overseeing home inspection details? The answer is C, verifying borrower's financial information. Underwriters are responsible for assessing the borrower's financial documents, ensuring they meet the loan's lending criteria. In Idaho, during the underwriting process for real estate loans, what role does the Idaho Real Estate Commission play? Is it A, approving property appraisals, B, enforcing real estate laws and rules, C, issuing loan approvals, or D, auditing borrower credit scores? The answer is B, enforcing real estate laws and rules. The Idaho Real Estate Commission enforces laws and regulations pertaining to real estate, but does not directly participate in the underwriting of loans. Loan closing and disclosure. Loan closing. In Idaho, what is the role of the notary public during the closing of a real estate transaction? Is it A, to provide legal advice to the buyer, B, to witness the signing of documents and verify identities, C, to ensure the title to the property is clear, or D, to collect taxes related to the transaction? The answer is B, to witness the signing of documents and verify identities. In Idaho, a notary public is responsible for witnessing the signing of legal documents during a real estate closing, ensuring that the parties properly identify themselves. Which Idaho statute governs real estate loan disclosures at closing? Is it A, Idaho Code Title 30, B, Idaho Title 54, C, Idaho Code Title 26, or D, Idaho Title 67? The answer is C, Idaho Code Title 26. Idaho Code Title 26 includes laws pertaining to banking and finance, which cover the necessary disclosures that must be made at the closing of a real estate loan. What document provides an itemized list of actual closing costs in an Idaho real estate transaction? Is it A, the loan estimate, B, the closing disclosure, C, the promissory note, or D, the HUD-1 settlement statement? The answer is B, the closing disclosure. The closing disclosure contains itemized details of the final closing costs and is a standard requirement in Idaho residential real estate transactions. Which authority ensures compliance during real estate closings in Idaho? Is it A, Idaho Secretary of State, B, Idaho Department of Lands, C, Idaho Department of Finance, or D, Idaho Real Estate Commission? The answer is D, Idaho Real Estate Commission. The Idaho Real Estate Commission monitors compliance and enforces regulations governing real estate transactions to ensure they adhere to the state's legal requirements. Who is typically responsible for ensuring the proper disbursement of funds at closing in Idaho? Is it A, the buyer's real estate agent, B, the closing attorney, C, the mortgage lender, or D, the seller's real estate agent? The answer is B, the closing attorney. In Idaho, the closing attorney, often working with an escrow office or title company, manages the proper disbursement of funds to relevant parties in the transaction. Which form must be provided at least 3 days before the closing meeting in Idaho, according to state law? Is it A, closing disclosure form, B, loan estimate form, C, good faith estimate, or D, final settlement statement? The answer is A, closing disclosure form. The closing disclosure form must be given to the borrower at least 3 business days before closing to review final loan terms and costs, as stipulated by Idaho law. Idaho mortgage disclosure requirements. What must Idaho mortgage loan disclosures include regarding the borrower's rights? Is it A, a statement of the borrower's right to resell the property immediately, B, details about the borrower's right to cancel the loan within 3 days, C, an indication of the borrower's ability to refinance without fees, or D, the borrower's obligation to pay property taxes immediately? The answer is B, details about the borrower's right to cancel the loan within 3 days. Idaho mortgage disclosures must inform borrowers of certain rights, including the right to rescind the loan within a short period. Under Idaho law, when are lenders required to provide the loan estimate disclosure to borrowers? Is it A, when the loan application is finalized, B, on the date of the closing, C, after the borrower receives the closing disclosure, or D, within 3 business days of receiving the loan application? The answer is D, within 3 business days of receiving the loan application. In Idaho, the loan estimate must be provided within 3 business days of receiving a loan application to ensure transparency and compliance. What is the purpose of the closing disclosure according to Idaho state requirements? Is it A, to summarize transaction details for the lender, B, to provide an itemized breakdown of loan costs and terms to the borrower, C, to finalize the loan terms with the title company, or D, to guarantee the interest rate offered to the borrower? The answer is B, to provide an itemized breakdown of loan costs and terms to the borrower. The closing disclosure provides a detailed summary of the loan terms, costs, and other relevant information, ensuring the borrower's understanding before closing. Which entity in Idaho is responsible for overseeing loan closing disclosures and compliance? Is it A, Idaho Division of Financial Management, B, Idaho Real Estate Commission, C, Idaho Department of Finance, or D, Idaho Consumer Protection Agency? The answer is C, Idaho Department of Finance. The Idaho Department of Finance is tasked with ensuring mortgage companies follow state loan closing disclosure laws. What unique aspect of Idaho's mortgage disclosure requirements helps protect consumers? Is it A, requirement for a detailed environmental impact report, B, mandatory clear disclosure of any variable interest rate, C, an obligation to audit borrowers' previous credit history, or D, compulsory explanation of real estate market trends? The answer is B, mandatory clear disclosure of any variable interest rate. Idaho requires lenders to clearly disclose any variable interest rates, ensuring borrowers understand potential future cost variations from rate changes. What is the primary purpose of the Idaho Mortgage Disclosure Act? Is it A, to provide transparency in mortgage transactions, B, to regulate the interest rates on loans, C, to establish lending limits for financial institutions, or D, to enforce penalties for late payments on loans? The answer is A, to provide transparency in mortgage transactions. The Idaho Mortgage Disclosure Act is designed to ensure that borrowers receive clear and complete information about their mortgage, promoting transparency in the lending process.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.